Omar, a 20-year-old man, stood tall and broad-shouldered, his dark brown hair slightly tousled from a long day at the family workshop. His hazel eyes, sharp yet warm, reflected his deep ambition and the quiet strength that came from years of hard work. Omar had grown up in a modest neighborhood, surrounded by family and friends. Over time, he had developed into a diligent craftsman, shaping wood and metal with hands that had become calloused, yet skillful. Despite his busy days, Omar's thoughts often wandered to Leila, the girl he had admired since childhood. Leila, also 20, was strikingly beautiful, with long, flowing black hair that shimmered in the sunlight and piercing blue eyes that could captivate anyone in an instant. But it wasn't just her beauty that drew Omar to her. It was her intellect and passion for writing. Leila had dreams of becoming a famous author, and she was already well on her way, studying literature at a prestigious university. Her hands, always clutching a book or journal, were delicate and expressive, much like her writing. They had grown up together, playing in the streets as children, sharing secrets under the old oak tree in the local park. But as they grew older, their relationship shifted. While Omar had fallen for Leila, he feared she only saw him as a friend. One sunny spring afternoon, the air thick with the scent of blooming jasmine, Omar decided it was time to speak his heart. He had asked Leila to meet him at the park they often visited as kids. The park, filled with lush green trees and colorful flowers, held many memories. They sat on an old wooden bench beneath the towering oak tree, its thick branches shading them from the warm sun. Leila, dressed in a white blouse and jeans, her long hair gently falling over her shoulders, carried a small leather bag filled with her university books. She was radiant yet calm, her eyes bright with curiosity, unaware of what Omar was about to say. The birds chirped in the background, and the soft rustle of leaves created a peaceful ambience. Omar, his heart racing, cleared his throat and looked into her eyes. "Leila, I've loved you for as long as I can remember. I've watched you grow into this incredible woman, and I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?" Leila smiled softly, her lips curving upward, but her eyes held a sadness Omar hadn't anticipated. She placed a hand gently on his, her voice kind but firm. "Omar, you are a wonderful person. I care for you deeply, but I'm not ready for marriage. There are dreams I still need to pursue, things I need to accomplish before I can think about settling down." Omar's heart sank, but he nodded, hiding his disappointment behind a calm demeanor. "I understand, Leila. Your dreams are important and I respect that. I'll always be here for you, no matter what." Time passed. Omar threw himself into his work, expanding the family business into a successful enterprise. His once modest workshop had grown into a well-regarded establishment in the town, known for high-quality craftsmanship. The hard labor had further defined his physique, and his reputation as a reliable and talented craftsman spread. But despite his success, his thoughts often returned to Leila. He hadn't seen much of her, as she was busy finishing her degree and writing articles for local magazines. Though she was gaining recognition in the literary world, Omar sensed that something was missing from her life. Leila, now a rising star in the literary scene, had achieved much of what she had set out to do. Her name had appeared in several respected publications, and her essays on love, society, and identity were becoming popular. But at night, when the world quieted and she was left alone with her thoughts, she would sometimes think about Omar, the boy from her childhood who had once offered her a future she wasn't ready for. One fateful evening, Leila, dressed in a simple green dress, was walking home after a long day at the library. The sun had set, and the streets were dimly lit by flickering street lamps. As she walked down a narrow, quiet street, she felt a sense of unease. The click of her heels echoed against the pavement, and she noticed a group of young men lingering in the shadows. Their eyes followed her, and as she quickened her pace, so did they. Her heart pounded as the men surrounded her, their sneers and whispered taunts filling the air. One of them reached out, grabbing her arm, his breath reeking of alcohol. Leila's pulse raced, her fear turning to panic. She struggled, trying to break free, but their grip tightened.